Okay, how cool is this? The brand new open for Sunday Night Baseball on NBC features Zac Brown Band, and it was filmed right here in Milwaukee at American Family Field. On a slow day in March, while many of you were driving along I-94, zooming by the ballpark, having no idea, Zac Brown was inside AmFam Field rocking out, and the cameras were rolling. The new Open debuts Sunday, but we have a little sneak peek for you on what you can expect. Text WATCH to the WTMJ Talk and Text line to see it. That's WATCH to 855-616-1620. The man behind the vision is the creative director for NBC Sports, Tripp Dixon. Thanks for joining us, Tripp.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We absolutely love seeing Milwaukee in the national spotlight, so we're proud of this one. How did you choose American Family Field as the location for this shoot?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it was a perfect location. I mean, it has this classic ballpark feel. You can't beat the natural grass and that kind of brickwork, and certainly the retractable roof helped. Given the time of the year when we were scouting it in February, it was below freezing, and I was kind of surprised to look up in that last row of the upper deck and see somebody hanging out in a golf shirt. I didn't realize it was the Euchre statue. But it was just a great place to be, and and just super grateful for the Brewers. Steve Ethier, kind of his stadium mops team, and Ryan Woodley, just the grounds crew. I think they had just put in the sod. They just put that down, and just watching them. The 4 days we were there. Just that constant preparation, the pitcher's mound, all that stuff. So I think we just felt lucky to be there when it was just in its pristine state.
Well, Tripp, you're familiar with this, right, with Sunday Night Football, and of course Carrie Underwood, blasting to the back row that she's been waiting all day for Sunday night. That's an NBC production. Now you've got baseball on NBC, so it's not hard to see where this may be derived from. But how long does it take to set something like this up? From we've got baseball now on NBC to we got to make a production out of it to this.
Yeah, this was a tight turn. I mean, as you said, and this is really led by Rick Cordella, our president of NBC Sports, and Sam Flood. They really wanted to make Sunday night a year-round destination for sports fans. So, as you noted, basketball made its debut in February, and then soon to be followed with the Zac Brown Open, this Sunday, and then on to carry it in the fall. So I just think it's normally it's 3 or 4 months. I think we're working in a compressed schedule, so it was sped up. But I think the great thing about it is just a couple things. We had worked with the Zac Brown Band earlier on a Sunday night tease. They were gracious enough to reimagine their chicken fried song as a turkey fried song for us, and it was a great experience. And beyond that, they were just the right group to kind of help us reimagine a classic from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I think all three of the opens currently just are really derived on reimagined classics. So Carrie was built. Joan Jett's "I Hate Myself for Loving You" and Lenny Kravitz's song that he sings for Sunday Night Basketball is Elvis Presley's "A Little Less Conversation." So Zac really took this Emerson, Lake and Palmer song and completely made it his own. We loved that. It already had kind of an organ and a welcome to the show component, but he helped us reimagine it. He even built kind of his own little seventh inning stretch in the middle of it, and the fact that he had 9 members in his band to kind of complete a full roster was awesome.
Well, I absolutely love this because I am always waiting for the Carrie Underwood when she's rocking it out on Sunday Night Football. If my husband's talking, I'm like, nope. We got to hit that rewind button. I want to see it. And I think that's important, too, for now as we're talking about Zac Brown Band, that it stays fresh. NBC is really building a Sunday night franchise. Football, basketball, now baseball. How important is branding that consistency?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I mean, it goes back to what you noted about the Carrie Underwood Open for Sunday Night Football. It really sets the tone and the energy and the excitement for our 3-hour broadcast. And I think it was important for all of us, and certainly our leaders, to kind of, for Sunday Night Baseball, to also sell the spectacle and the entertainment and the fun of the sport.
So, Tripp, I'm curious. There's a brand new film office here in the state of Wisconsin. This is something that is part of legislation recently passed. Were there any tax benefits or shooting in Milwaukee benefits as a result of some of the new laws in place, or was that not even part of your consideration, or maybe not even applied to the situation what you were filming?
Yeah, that's a great question. There might have been those considerations in play. I think on our tight timeline, we worked directly with the MLB and the Brewers, and we kind of knew where we wanted to be. I'm not sure if we were able to take full advantage in that tight turnaround. I think my long-term director of photography was Jordan McMonigal. He went to Marquette High School right down from the stadium, so I did get a lot of local flavor that I wasn't previously aware of.
So, Tripp, kind of take us behind the scenes here as far as what the production looked like. How many people, how many days, how big of an operation was this? As I was setting that scene at the top, you had so many people. I mean, I-94 in our construction zone, you got people driving by all the time. They're going a little bit slower by the ballpark, and people had no idea this was happening.
Yeah, it starts. Zac had a 9-piece band, and we had to consider that. We built the stage really right over that dugout on the third baseline. It just kind of gave us a great view, and it was really a 4-day for us. Beyond all the pre-production, it was 4 days out there. So we loaded in on day one and did the set build on day two, and did all the pre-lighting and checked the pyro and rehearsed on day three, and then day four it was go time. We shot it. And there was a lot of things that were just fun to explore. Just based on that organ perch. We carried an organ, that Hammond B, up to the base of Bernie's slide to kind of capture some of that performance, and it was kind of a nice nod to that. What you typically imagine to be a high organ perch, for a baseball game. So we had a lot of fun.
Hey, Tripp, I'm kind of curious what you and Zac and the crew did in Milwaukee for 4 days too. Right after shooting, you got to have some fun somewhere.
We did. We snuck out. I mentioned my director of photography. He introduced me to a little Kopp's Burger and a brat at Uzinger's, and we didn't quite make it to Fourth Base Restaurant. That was on my bucket list in honor of Major League. But based on the turnaround, we spent an awful lot of time at that stadium. So most of our meals were at the Barrel Yard, and I had my fair share of cheese curds that week.
Good man.
You know how to do it. Well, you are welcome back anytime, Tripp. We thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much for the time. Looking forward to it.
Check it out. The brand new open for Sunday Night Baseball at NBC, featuring Zac Brown Band and American Family Field. You will get to see it for the first time this Sunday. That was Tripp Dixon, creative director for NBC Sports.